Peace, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about the Freetel Samurai Kiwami. Now, when you look at the spec list of this thing, you'd actually think it's a phone which is coming out recently of today's day. But this phone was actually released in 2015 with a 2K 6-inch display. It also runs a MediaTek X10, which also does have MT6795, which is really powerful even today, running at 2.0 megahertz. You get a Power VR processor. You get also gives you 32 gigabytes of built-in memory with 3 gigabytes of RAM and an extra 128 gigabytes of internal storage to go along with it. Now the crazy thing is this device was released in 2015 with the spec list that has really crazy features on it. You're getting a 21 megapixel camera, which is going to give you the ability to record in 4K as well. So when you go over down to the settings in this device and you check out some of the features that it's come along with it, you're gonna see that we're getting video settings right here. You can see you could change the picture size to a 21 megapixel camera, which is crazy. And then when you go to the video settings, you could go to the quality, which it says 4K right here down below, and we're gonna switch it to the 4K mode right here. Before that it was on 1080. We're gonna take some photos on this thing and some video in 4K, but this thing does have the Android 5.1 software, and it's not too different from Android 10 now that I look at them compared to each other. You're getting that app tray with all your apps in it. You're getting your notification bar at the top. One thing you are getting is better battery savings modes, better optimization for the battery, but you're able to see this thing in broad daylight, no issues whatsoever. It has a really nice panel, so there's no complaints whatsoever. You're also getting 4G LTE connectivity to Metro by T-Mobile and Cricket Wireless AT&T networks. You're getting this really nice vegan leather back on it, which you can see looks really nice. It also does have an aluminum finish all across the body, which is really cool. So you can see the frame of this thing is just really solid. Now you are getting micro USB, which is not the only thing, but you can see that metal frame all across it gives you that rectangular, boxy shape, which is really reminiscent of like a Note 4 or like the earlier Note devices, but it definitely is that box shape, just like a Note device. Headphone jack right at the top, 21 megapixel camera on the back, and 8 megapixel on the the front. So I'm gonna actually take some shots on this thing and in 4K and some photographs with the 21 megapixel camera. But make sure you guys stay locked in, and I'm going to take some footage on this thing so we could go ahead and check out the performance of the camera and also the gaming. But make sure you stay locked in with me because I really like this device, and every once in a while I got to bring it back up because it competes really well against some of the newer budget and mid-range devices. And this thing was released 4 or 5 years ago, and it still stands tall, has NFC, gyroscope, and just a whole lot more. So let me check out some of that performance on the cameras. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the 4K footage on the Freetel Samurai Kiwami. Now I'm actually holding it on a tripod, but you can see right here, this is the quality that we're getting when we're looking at it. And this is the 4K footage right here. So you can see it looks really good. Let me just make a turn real quick, but let me just show you. That's some really good detail right there on those rocks. You can see all the minerals inside of it, and the detail looks really nice as well. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the front-facing camera of the Samurai Kiwami. And you know, it's a really beautiful day again. We're having back-to-back good weather all across the boards. So I'm sure all over the East Coast, wherever you're at. Let me know where you're at right now. Let me know what the temperature was where you was at today. But it's really gorgeous right now. But this is the front-facing camera, and this looks really good. So leave a comment down below. I'm gonna try to take some footage, some photographs real quick in like 2 minutes. Let me know how those come out as well. But hope you're having a good day. This phone is really cool. But overall, the best thing about this device is probably the feel in the hand and the overall like way it feels with the materials that they combined. Because you're getting, in my opinion, two of the most premium materials for like to make smartphones out of, which is basically like that grippy like leather material. I hate when like phones have that glass back because it's just like really slippery, but you're not getting that with this. You're just getting a lot of grip, and it's actually like really comfortable in the hand. Also, the width of the phone is actually really nice, and also at the time when it came out, it was pretty bezel-less, and the bezel at the top was really slim compared to the bottom one, but the side bezels were actually shrunken as well, so it was really kind of like a future phone for the time that it came out in. But the funny thing is that this thing is still available, and you can still get it from Walmart at $89. I remember when this thing first released, you can get it for like $400. So, you know, the prices definitely went down substantially, but it still runs pretty good. The only thing that I could say is that when it comes to the Freetel Samurai Kiwami, you know, like it could use better optimization as far as battery goes, but it does switch between 3G, 4G, and even LTE as well, depending on if you're on a phone call or, you know, like doing something. But you do get like the LTE network on Metro by T-Mobile and Cricket Wireless, which was pretty cool. This thing was 6 inches, just had a really nice solid feel in my hand. You can add a 128 gigabyte card with no issues. Apps run pretty quickly, there's no delay. You're getting that 2K resolution as well. It's a little bit heavier and larger than most phones that you see today, but it can definitely replace like you know, like maybe, you know, like a budget phone that you're using. This can definitely outrun a lot of other budget phones that are out right now because of, you know, like the specs that they put on here. The 32 gigabytes of internal storage is really good because it's just enough for what you need. You know, the phone can get a little bit you know, like a little bit sluggish from time to time, but you know, it does have a really good value for the money, and overall has a really good performance in my opinion. But when it comes to the cameras, you are getting some really good modes to choose from. You get this mode where you can actually pan around an object, and what happens is when you get the full range of the, you know, the panner moving around it, you can actually get like a full scale 3D like angle of what you were taking the thing with. So it's kind of cool. This phone also does have panorama mode as well. It has like this burst shot mode as well, which you can use for like creating GIFs. So this thing had like GIFs before they were even like a thing, but I remember it was released for $300 or more, and now it's like $80. And with a 21 megapixel camera, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 3 gigabytes of internal storage, really slim design, made in Japan with really premium quality materials. Like I said, it kind of has a feel of like a G4 in the back with that material that they used, but it's like 3 times less the price, which is crazy. So, you know, in my opinion, a lot of people don't know about this device, but it has some really good features with it. You're getting that mode where you can kind of just pan across and scale a subject. This thing also does have like live photos mode, which was something that iPhones were known for. But it's pretty cool that this thing has so many cool features for a phone that was released in 2015. You also did get the NFC feature, which was pretty cool. And you can see this is the way that live photo mode works. But the only thing I could say is software wise, this thing didn't get any support. And I don't think there's any way you could really like root it, because there's not too many custom ROMs for this thing, which kind of sucks. So if you're planning on rooting it, I don't think I wouldn't recommend buying it just to do that, because it's better to root phones that have Snapdragon processors. It's a lot easier to find custom ROMs for it. But you can see, compared to like an Android 10 versus Android 5.1, there's a lot of big differences as far as like the notifications panel goes. There's way more detail, and you're able to look through the panels in more of a extensive and detail oriented way, and kind of preview certain things, whereas you just get the normal tiles on the Android. Still the same system, but just way more layered and way more like structured. As far as like organization goes, it's kind of came a long way as far as like the way they how far they went with Android 5 to 10. But the gamer performance of this thing still holds up pretty well as far as like gaming goes and everything. So when it came to that, I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. You just get some really bright colors on the 2K panel, and it looked really bright, to be honest. You were getting a ton of colors that like came out of the screen, which looked really good as well. So I couldn't complain about that portion. But when it came to gaming and everything like that, the phone was actually really responsive, and you could see that it was able to pick up touch, multi-touch when it came to 3D gaming. So that was pretty cool. And I was playing a ton of different games like Call of Duty, and I was able to play PUBG on this thing as well. But that was to most of the games I was playing were just like mainly shooters and action oriented games. But honestly, if you wanted to do some gaming with this device released in 2015, it's still possible, which is pretty cool. But this thing was a Japanese made and thought out phone, which came from like Japan, which was cool, and probably the only phone I ever got from Japan. So I definitely think it's sick. But if you found this helpful in any way possible, let me know down below, and I appreciate you 100%. But make sure you hit that bell icon, stay locked in for more videos just like this, and I'll check you guys later, crew. But in the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, depending on who you are. Have a great night. Peace. Later, crew.